Hello, everyone. Welcome to the webinar. My name is Tyler. I'm super excited to have you join us this evening. We're going to go ahead and get started in just a few minutes. There's a couple more people coming in. I actually got a few messages from some other orthodontists and team members, so they're going to jump in here in just a few moments. So we're going to give them a few moments. So hang tight, write down some questions, and we'll go ahead and kick this thing off here in a few moments. All right, everyone. I see a couple more people coming on in this evening. We just want to say thank you so much. We're about 2 minutes out from the start time. I just want to say thank you all for giving up some of your time this Thursday evening and come join us. I know a lot of people make some sacrifices to be on these webinars, but we're really excited to have you here. There's going to be some really great information shared and a lot of great tools and knowledge that you could take to your practice to start growing your practice almost immediately. So Dr. Tyler Coles is about ready. We've got about a minute to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and let the last few people kind of trickle on in here. I do expect some people to come in after the start time as well. If anyone has questions, please feel free to message them here in the chat. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and respond to those. We'll respond to some of them that make sense throughout the presentation. And then at the end of the presentation, we're going to go ahead and answer most of those questions and also be able to field questions at the very end. So if you have questions, please feel free to write them down or going to enter them into the chat right now or throughout the presentation. And Dr. Tyler Coles and I will be sure to go ahead and get to those questions. We're about ready to start. I apologize. I'm losing my voice here. It is 7:30 Eastern Standard Time on the dot. So Dr. Tyler Coles, if you want to go and get started, let's go ahead and jump on in.
All right. Thank you everyone for being here. So we'll go ahead and get into it. So the topic for tonight is the 7 most profitable orthodontic marketing campaigns. So this is based on my own experience and campaigns I've run in my practice. And yeah, I made a list of kind of the best ones that we've done and ones that we continue to do over and over because they always work so well. All right, so things we'll be covering are the 7 highest ROI campaigns that filled up our new patient column. We'll talk about the marketing pieces you need to run these. So you will need to get a few things in line in order to pull these off. And then we're going to try to go kind of step by step how to launch each campaign as much as we can. And yeah, if you have questions, make sure to chat those in. We'll cover those if we can. But let's go ahead and get into it. So for those who don't know me, I'm Dr. Tyler Coles. I'm an orthodontist. I was the chief marketing officer at Premier Orthodontics. I managed all the marketing for my practice for over 13 years. We had 6 offices in the Phoenix area. 80% of all of our new patients came from digital marketing. So, we love to get patient referrals and dentist referrals, but by and large, our practice grew and ran from the digital marketing I did to when I'll be showing you some of those campaigns today. So in 2024, just kind of give you some insight, I generated 6,857 new patient leads with 2,176 starts. Again, 80% of those came from digital marketing. So have a lot of experience getting leads from the internet, getting new patients from the internet. And we'll talk to you about the ways that the campaigns I use over and over to facilitate this. So one thing that you'll notice a common theme through all these campaigns today is a seasonal campaign. So seasonal campaign is basically a campaign you're going to run for a short amount of time, and then it needs to have a start and end date. It can't just be an evergreen thing that's always running. We need to have a reason for people to act now because, as they say in the marketing world, deadlines move dollars. So if they don't have a reason to act now, they will put it off. And then big thing is urgency sells. Nothing creates urgency like a ticking clock. So on the landing pages we use, there is a countdown timer because that is what gets people to take action now versus putting it off indefinitely or till next month. And then also having a seasonal campaign, it gives you the perfect excuse to re-engage the old leads. So you'll see that a lot today as well, where we're going to be talking about how to get those people that are already in your practice management software back into the office and to get them to become patients. So having a seasonal campaign is an easy excuse, easy way to reach out and get them back in and on the schedule. So again, the main thing that I want to stress is you need to be okay with seasonal campaigns, and seasonal campaigns will have some kind of offer. So this will give you an example of our most recent one. We did a spring break braces campaign. And so for this one, we did it pretty simple. We did basically a low monthly payment, and that was about it. Sometimes we'll do different types of offers. Sometimes we'll do money off. Everybody seems to do the $500 off offer, so you can do that. But if it's kind of oversaturated in your market, the Phoenix area, that's like super overdone. We have to do things a little bit more, yeah, strategically. So we find that the low monthly payment offers always work really, really well. Other things that we found have worked well are a free gift when you start treatment. So things like electric scooter is something that's really popular right now. There's a new Switch that's coming out in June. That's going to be a hit, I know for sure. So those are all things that you might want to try. So when you start braces during this month for spring break or for summer or for whatever season you're going to be doing, you get a free Switch with treatment, or you can start for zero down. So there's lots of ways to make this offer and make it enticing. And again, you can see down here at the bottom, we have special offer expires in. This one's already expired, so the timer's disappeared, but we have a counting clock that shows when this one will expire. So this is one that we do every year is our Black Friday braces offer. So this is a big one. So it's $1,000 off the regular prices of braces. Payments as low as $79 per month, and start for zero down with no payments until next year. So again, people are trained during Black Friday that there's going to be specials and offers. So this is where we do our best offer of the year, and we will start a lot of patients during this period. So again, we have the countdown timer, and this ends when it ends. It's not fake scarcity. And yeah, that's something that is crucial for this whole campaign to run. And as you'll see as we move on today, the seasonal campaign landing page is kind of the central spoke of all of our marketing. And so that is one piece that you can't really operate without, in my opinion. And if you try to do it without this, it's just not going to work as well. So getting that done, hopefully your marketing company is able to do that for you, but it's pretty simple. You come up with a landing page with an offer. And then what we do is we have a page that's kind of our templated page. And all we do is change the top section of this page to the offer. The rest of the page is going to be very similar. So, we might have 4 or 5 or 6 of these built, and then we'll just update the top section of the page for that season. All right, so let's get into the actual campaign. So campaign number 1 is we're going to try to win back the ones who ghosted you. So these are our new patient no-shows. These are people that scheduled an appointment and didn't show up. And if you went back and looked at your schedule, you probably have a lot of these. And guess what? You have all these people's phone number and email, and they have indicated that they are interested in braces. And for whatever reason, at the time of their first appointment, life got in the way, something happened, and they didn't show up. And so if you look back at the last 18 months, I bet you have a lot of these patients in your database. And this is something that is an easy way to go get some patients and try to push them to our seasonal landing page. So again, we have the seasonal landing page, we have a countdown timer, we've got a special offer that they have to act now in order to get that offer. And so this is a good reason to get back in touch with them. Say, hey, if you're still thinking about braces, we've got, the summer break special with a free Nintendo Switch or a free electric scooter, whatever your special offer is. And so to do this campaign, you will need a seasonal landing page, like we said. You will need an email tool that allows you to blast your no-show list. And again, this is anybody who ghosted you in the last 18 months. They are fair game. So that's always where I kind of set that cutoff time is about the 18-month window. Anyone that's past 18 months is probably a little too unengaged. And so you kind of have to draw it somewhere. So that's where we draw the line. And then ideally, you need a way to text that same list. So tools that can do this, some practice management softwares have this ability. So my practice, we used Wave Ortho. It has the ability that we can go pull this list, put it into a campaign, and set up multiple emails, multiple text messages. I know not all email or not all softwares can do this. So we'll talk a little bit later about some solutions that may be doable, but a lot of the practice management softwares are getting better, and they're building these marketing features into the software. But if your software doesn't have this, like this is like a non-negotiable for me. I would never use a software that does not have this ability, because this is such an easy way to get new patients in that it pays for your software, 100 times over. So, good thing about this campaign, why it's the most profitable is because it basically costs you nothing. You already have this list sitting in your computer. All you need is a system to get this list of patients, send them a email blast or text blast, send them to that landing page, and they will call, they'll schedule, and they'll come back and start treatment. Again, all you need is one, and you made a huge ROI again because the cost is almost nothing. It takes a bit of time. And some of these patients, obviously, they no showed the first time. If you're concerned about them no showing again, go ahead and double book your consults for these type of patients so you don't fill up all of your prime slots. So that is a strategy we've done forever at my practice is we have double book consults knowing that some of them are not going to show up. When they do show up, two at one time, we just kind of make it work. There's strategies to like do chairside consults, lots of things you can do. So again, that's probably a different discussion for a different day, but when you can try to double book or at least try to schedule them a little bit tighter because these patients are going to be you know, more prone to not show up. But again, all you need is a handful of them to show up, start treatment, and you made a huge profit on this campaign. All right, next campaign. It's very similar to the first. It's going to be turning the let me think about it crowd into let's get started. So these are our new patient no sales. Most patients who show up for a consultation that don't start treatment do not actually start treatment anywhere else. They just don't do anything. And so most of them are still waiting. They're still semi-interested in braces or Invisalign. And all they need is a compelling reason to come back and a countdown timer. And so that is the exact same campaign is we're going to push these people who are in our practice management software, our no sell list, back to that seasonal landing page. We have an offer, we have a countdown timer, we have a reason for them to act right now. And we're going to be able to get a large number of them back into the office and get them started. So same process, you need that landing page, you need the email or text blasting tool to contact this list. And so this list, we do it with anyone who had a consultation in the last 18 months but didn't start treatment, excluding those who had a consultation in the last 30 days. So our office, our TCs will do some short-term follow-up for about 30 days where they're trying to get them back in at whatever their consultation was. So after 30 days, we kind of cut that off. We tell the TCs no longer do active follow-up, but all those people who came in didn't start treatment within 30 days, they're put into this list and they're going to get these offers periodically. And people will come back 6, 12 months after their initial consultation and get started with treatment because again most of these people are not starting somewhere else, they're just not starting at all. They needed something came up, something got in the way, they didn't have the finances ready, and now if we reach out to them and they're ready at this time, it's an easy way to get them back in the office. All right, so again, this costs you nothing, it's super profitable. All you need is one or two of these to start, and if all it takes is a little bit of time, it's an easy thing to do. Also, you can get them to put their down payment over the phone if needed. So most of the time you already discussed finances with them. And a lot of times you can get their initial down payment over the phone. And that way you're reserving that slot and you can get them started that way. So easy way to kind of get the process started without them even stepping foot in the office. First time they're back in the office, you can, if they're ready for treatment, you go ahead and put braces on them that day. You don't necessarily need to do a consultation. All right, campaign number 3, we'll continue moving on. We're going to reactivate our observation recall list. So you'll notice a common theme here. There is basically a gold mine in everybody's practice management software, and you need a way to get, those opportunities out of that computer and into your new patient column. And so if you looked at your observation list, people that had a recall observation appointment or a new patient exam, and they weren't ready to start treatment, you'll probably have a ton of people that are already older than 12 years old, but have not started yet. So it's the same thing. Most of these people who are older than 12 years old that came in once for a consultation but weren't ready at that time are probably ready for treatment. Most of them have not started treatment anywhere else. They've just, been putting it off. Life got in the way. It's not a priority at the moment. So this gives us an easy way to reach out to them, give them a reason for getting in touch, and then we give them an offer and a reason to act now. And it's a very simple way to get a lot of people back into the office and get them started. So same process. We already got our seasonal landing page up. We're already setting up these email and text blasts. Let's go ahead and do one more. And this list will be anyone who is older than 12 that has been seen for a consultation that's on the recall list, but hasn't been seen in at least 6 months. So again, we usually do a 6-month recall in our office. And so if they're past that 6-month recall point, they're basically, kind of off the radar more or less. And if they're older than 12, they're probably ready for treatment. So let's go ahead and put all these people into this email list or text list and see if we can get them back in the office with a seasonal offer. Chances are there's going to be a couple of them that still aren't ready yet, and that's fine. They come in for their appointment. We say, we're not quite ready yet, but we can go ahead and save this special offer for you, and we'll see you in 6 months and get started then. If that's the worst case scenario, that's still a good thing because you're making sure that they're back in the office, they're back on your radar, and you're going to go ahead and get them started when it is time. So same thing, we need software, a system to email and text blast these people. And it's a very simple process to go ahead and reach out, say, hey, we have this special offer, get started during this month and you get a free, Nintendo Switch 2 or electric scooter, or you can get $500 off, start for zero down. Whatever your offer is, make it compelling and then give it a limited time. And this is an easy way to reach out to them saying, hey, if you're still thinking about braces, this is the time to get started. Here's why. All right. So again, patients are likely ready. We just need a reason to reach out, and this costs us basically nothing. So if you get even one, it is extremely profitable. If you get more than one, obviously it's one of the most profitable things you can do. All right. Campaign number 4. This is similar, but a little bit different. We'll talk a little bit about some nuances here. So we want to turn mom and dad into patients too. So most of us treat a lot of kids, and we have a huge opportunity to convert the parents into patients as well. And so that is the goal. It can be done with siblings also. Parents are kind of the easiest target though. So same thing. If we have a seasonal landing page, we're going to use that. A lot of times we'll run all these campaigns simultaneously. So that way we're kind of getting them all done at once. But the parent campaign can be a little bit different. Again, a lot of parents might want Invisalign. So you may do a special offer on Invisalign. So this can be a separate landing page. It can be a separate season. If we are doing like an Invisalign event, which we've talked about before at different webinars, this is a good opportunity to reach out to the parents. So again, we're going to look at an email. We're going to get anybody that is 18 or younger, including D-bonds in the last 18 months. We will put them in this list as well. We'll reach out to the responsible party and say, hey, we've got a parent discount, or we got the second family member discount. If you want to get started this month, here's the offer. It's an easy way to reach out. And invariably, we always get somebody who has been thinking about it, been putting it off. The mom that, had braces when she's younger, she's been thinking about getting started. And this is an easy way to reach out. Again, it gives us a reason where we have this special. We want to let you know about it. We're doing them a favor. And here's the offer. Here's the page. And you'll pretty much always get some people back in the office. And so easy thing to do. And this is a great campaign because it actually rewards patients' loyalty because we're giving them an offer for their next family member. And again, we get all those parents who've been putting it off, and now they have a reason to get started now to stop putting it off. And a lot of times we will make this pretty generous as far as the financing goes for these parent offers. So we'll say start for zero down and payments as low as $97 per month for Invisalign, especially if we know these people paid us the first time. Most likely they're going to pay us again. And so we just need to make it super easy for them to get started. Again, if you're not comfortable doing financing for Invisalign, you can find some other reason for them to get started, but make it compelling, different than what you do normally every day. And you will be able to capture some of this crowd who has been putting it off or who may not start otherwise. And you can incentivize them to get started now. All right. This is one that most people haven't heard of.
Before you get going in that, Dr. Ty, I just want to say that we've seen a couple people trickle on in. We've seen more people join the webinar here. So again, just a reminder, if you do have questions, I've already gotten quite a few. If If you guys do have questions, please feel free to type them in the Zoom chat. We'll be able to get those questions, answer them if it makes sense in the presentation live or at the very end when we have time for a discussion and questions there. So again, welcome everyone who just joined. We'll be able to jump right in where Dr. Tyler's at right now. But if you have any questions, please feel free to message us and we'll get back to you.
Perfect. Okay, so we're still playing in the email category, but rather than using our email list or our patient list, we're going to borrow someone else's list. And so most people don't even know that this is an option. But what you can do is if you've got a media outlet in your area, so in Phoenix, we've got like, ABC News, is who we always use. And we've got a big enough footprint with 6 offices all across the valley. So you can pay to do a sponsored email blast to their email list. And it's the same thing. We're going to use a seasonal landing page. We're going to craft an email and we're going to pay them. It's usually, again, it depends on the list size. It might be between $500 and $1,200 for this one-time email blast. So it blasts all their list. It's usually tens of thousands of people. And then it tells them about our seasonal offer, tells them how to get started, pushes them to our website. And these have been some of the best ROI campaigns we've done, except for obviously the internal stuff because it costs us nothing. But these are super simple. It doesn't take that much setup. All it takes is finding a vendor, a news outlet that has this available. So depending on the size of your market, depending on where you're at, the size of your footprint, this may or may not be an option for you. But even if you have like a local news station or local newspaper, I would reach out and see if they have anything like this available. So usually they try to sell you a bundled package of a sponsored Facebook post plus email. I would advise you to not do the Facebook post. We found them mostly useless. Always try to do the email blast if you can. So that is one thing. So, but the strategy is the same. We get all these tens of thousands of people on their email list. They're going to blast them. They're going to potentially go to spam and get all the spam complaints. It's all on their list and their address. So we don't really have to worry about it. We're paying for that sponsorship, but all it takes is a handful of people to come into the landing page to start treatment. And this is an easy ROI, easy thing that pays for itself. So again, depending on your market, this may or may not be available, but I would at least look into it. If you live in a major metropolitan area, I would say this is probably something that is going on that you could take advantage of for sure. Oh, excuse me. All right. So yep, and it's just basically a minimal one-time cost. Again, it depends on the company you're going with, but we found them between $500 and $1,200 for a one-time campaign. Again, if you get one patient from it, you've got like a 3 times return on investment. If you get 2 or 3, then it just multiplies from there. So super easy way to get some new patients that nobody else in your market is probably doing. So you can be the only one on that email list. All right, next thing we're going to get into is using our seasonal campaign and pushing people from meta ads. So that's going to be run on Facebook or Instagram. And this is something that we are doing constantly in our practice, but we will always be changing the offer with a new seasonal landing page every couple months, usually every quarter. And this way, it's always gives us some fresh things to advertise on the internet. So having the exact same ad running all the time, it fatigues really quickly. And so this way, there's always a reason to change things up, get people to pay attention. And the patient who's very interested in Nintendo Switch, they may not care about the $500 off. So that way you're getting a different pool of patients who might have interest in different things. But same process. We've got the landing page. We're going to run ads on Facebook or Instagram. We're going to push people to the landing page, and the landing page is going to do a good job of getting them into the office. So again, this is something that I find most agencies, most orthodontists miss is they just run these evergreen offers that's like $500 off Invisalign. They just run that ad 6 months straight with nothing, no variation, no changes. And that gets super fatiguing. You're missing a huge opportunity. All you got to do is just change the page, change the ads, and it's a whole fresh creative, and you get a whole new audience that you can go after. And Yeah, whenever we've tested this, we split test, the free Nintendo Switch versus $500 off. And, little secret, the Nintendo Switch usually costs less than $500. The free Nintendo Switch pretty much always outconverts the $500 off. We've even split test spring break special. Here's the monthly payments, low monthly payments versus just low monthly payments. If we call it a spring break special, it pretty much always outperforms the generic ad that is even the same offer. So again, that's because we have the ability to put a countdown timer on our website. And also people are trained to look for seasonal sales and they act on these sales. So this is something that's just been trained into the market. It's very common. And so it's something we can absolutely take advantage of is this limited time special offer. And then again, we can change this offer periodically. And so we can always keep it fresh, keep something new, and keep people engaged and interested. And last campaign that is the most profitable, it is very similar, but it is running Google ads to our seasonal landing pages. So this is where it gets a little bit more technical. I'll get into a little bit of the different techniques. So Google ads has a few different types. There are Google search ads and then Google Performance Max ads, which we use. And so the search ads, we want to be very specific on who is searching, what words they are using, and what page we send them to. So if somebody is searching for words like cheap braces, low cost braces, discount braces, braces for $100, cheap orthodontist, low cost orthodontist, discount orthodontist. Those are the people that we will direct to our seasonal offer page. Because if they search for discount braces near me, then we show them spring break special on braces, get braces for whatever. That is exactly what they're looking for. They're going to click on that ad and they're going to be very motivated to get started because they are looking for a discount right now. And we have a discount that has a countdown timer. Somebody that is searching for the best orthodontist or highest rated orthodontist, those keywords we will send to our homepage because the verbiage on the homepage is going to be totally different than the landing page. Landing page is all about seasonal sales, discounts, offers. Someone who's searching for the best orthodontist probably doesn't care about that as much. They are going to be looking for the best, so we'll go ahead and send them to our homepage where there's no mention of the offer and it's just the standard homepage. So that is one way that we can use this to our advantage. There's also a thing called a Google Ads extension. So you have your standard search ad, and then you'll have little things that pop up underneath the ad. And so you can do a seasonal offer extension on that ad. And that is always one of the highest converting extensions whenever we have that. If we have a seasonal offer, we have that little thing. It'll show you that this thing gets clicked on the most. And it is the highest converting little bit of the search ad you can use. So again, if you're not taking advantage of this, if you're already running Google search ads, you're basically missing out on some easy conversions. Additionally, we do Google Performance Max. So a lot of doctors aren't familiar with this, but basically Google owns, they own Google Search, obviously. They own YouTube. They own the Google Display Network, which is all the little banner ads that are all over the internet. They own Gmail. They own Google Maps. With Performance Max ads, you can place ads on all of the Google properties. And so you get a lot more reach versus just search only. So we use these quite a bit. A lot of these are going to be targeted on YouTube because there's a lot of people that are on YouTube that may not be on Facebook, they may not be on Instagram. They may not be searching for an orthodontist. So we can get that whole new audience. And so we take the ads that are already running on Facebook that are talking about the seasonal offer. We also have images from Facebook and we just put those on Performance Max and we can get twice the results of our ad results without having to create a lot more stuff. We use the same offer, same ads. We just put them on two different placements. So super easy way to take advantage of that without, creating a whole lot more work. So again, the biggest advantage of this is your cost per click on these type of ads with the seasonal offers are so low. They're like half the cost of your traditional best orthodontist near me ads. We still bid on those. We want that patient, but if someone's searching for low cost orthodontist and my seasonal campaign shows up, that gets clicked on twice as much as any other ad. And so Google is going to charge me half as much because you get the higher quality score. So, and then additionally, using the Google platform, you can open up the new channel for advertising. You can open up YouTube, which most orthodontists are not on. And so we are the only ones who are running on there. We get all that attention. And then you start getting some of that cross platform collaboration as well, where people will see you on Facebook, they see you on YouTube, they go search for an orthodontist, they see you pop up. You know, you're their first ones on top of their mind when they are ready to make that decision. So super easy way to get a whole new channel without having to do a whole lot more work. So with all of these campaigns, like I've just mentioned, those are 7 campaigns, and we do these all the time year round, and we have a marketing calendar. So how we usually will do it is we do a seasonal sale at least once per quarter for Facebook and Google ads. So some of the examples are we'll do a New Year's braces special. We'll do spring break special. We do summer special and Black Friday. Those are the ones we always do every year because it's generally the time that, you know, New Year, everybody's looking to get started with braces. Spring break, kids are out of school. Summer, kids are out of school. And then Black Friday, everybody's used to sales. So those are the ones that are kind of the non-negotiables. We will do some additional seasonal campaigns in between there. So for example, if we do, you know, the spring break sale during March, we might do something else in May, like end of school special. But then that runs into the summer special next month and we'll just change it up. So you can change it more frequently, but at minimum, it needs to be every quarter. And then you can do the text and email blasts 2 to 4 times per year. So you can do these once per quarter. We've definitely done that. Sometimes we will time them during our slow periods. So, for example, summertime, most orthodontists were very busy and we may not need a ton of new patients. So, we might save our text email blast to our lists until August or September. And we'll just do, you know, it was the summer special. We might do a back to school special. And again, it might be a very similar offer, but this is just going to be sent out to our text and email list and our parent list and our recall list. That way, you know, we had our schedule filled during the summer using our Facebook and Google ads. School's back in session. It's kind of slow. Now let's get those people who are on our list that haven't started yet, get them in the office. So they can be done at the same time if you just need new patients. If you want to be strategic about it, they can be done strategically during different times. And then we'll do a rented email blast, usually twice per year. So Black Friday is always the best time to do this. It's the best time to do everything. I would try to do it early Black Friday though. So if you're going to do Black Friday, I would do like the start of November, and then I would call it like the early Black Friday braces sale. That way people aren't too bombarded with sales messages yet. And then I would probably do another one either New Year's or summer. Those have always historically worked out best, and do that twice a year. We found that we were doing it once a quarter and it started losing effectiveness because I think the same people saw the emails over and over. But doing it twice a year, that gives it time for that email list to kind of refresh, get new people on the list, and you can still get good results from that as well. So this is something that I would recommend you do: is set your marketing calendar, map out where your specials are going to be, which months, how many are you going to do, when are you going to do your text and email blasts, and then look to see if you can do that rented list as well. So action items that you should go and start doing now is you need to figure out your email and text solution. Find out, does your software, your practice management software, do this natively? If not, what do you need to do this? Plan out your seasonal campaigns, just like we mentioned. At bare minimum, figure out the next upcoming quarter's campaign and get that landing page built. So it is April right now. Summer's around the corner. If you don't have a summer special campaigns planned yet, that is the first thing you need to get done right away. And then plan out your Facebook and Google ads campaigns for that. So you need to start getting your summer special Facebook and Google ad campaigns ready to go. So I know that sounds like a lot of work. You know, figuring out these systems, I had to learn them from non-orthodontists. I learned this from marketers, and then I took that information, the strategies and tactics, and I used them in my own practice. And now we offer these services for other orthodontists. So you don't have to figure this all out for yourself if you don't want to. So what we do at Ortho-Boost is we will build the landing pages for you. So these are modeled after the exact pages that I'm currently using for my own schedule. We will run the ads for you. So we do the Facebook and Google ads. So that way you don't have to try to guess through this or hope that it's being done right. We take the system, the formula that's already worked for either my practice or other practices that we work with, and we use that same formula for your practice. And then, if needed, we will help you send the emails and text blasts. So we have a software, a marketing software where we can upload lists and send out these email and text blasts and schedule them out. So the only caveat is we don't have direct integration to your practice management software to get those lists out. So you would have to find a way to segment that list within the practice management software, export it as a CSV file, a spreadsheet, send that to us, and then we can help you manage that. So that is very doable. Pretty much all practice management softwares at least have that capability where they can export a list. And then with that list, we can take care of the email and text blasts. So if you have this done natively in your software, great. If not, we've got a system where we can help you with that. So that's what we do at Ortho-Boost. We specialize in Facebook and Google ads. We do websites, SEO, and landing pages. We do free lead management software. Like I said, the software we use for emailing and text blasting, we also use for management of leads coming in. And then we have my team, the team that's worked with me for many years to run ads, build landing pages, and we implement these same strategies for your practice. So additionally, one other thing that we provide is new patient follow-up. So early on in Ortho-Boost, we would do these services, we would get leads for the office, and we might send an office, 15 or 20 leads, and then they would maybe call them once, and then that was it. So this happened in my own practice as well. It's way infuriating where you spend money. It's usually like $120, $130 per lead. You get that lead scheduled, and then our phones team calls them once and they never try to call them again. So that is a very expensive lead that we're not putting enough time and attention to. And the problem is, for most of the time, the front desk, they see their job as checking in new patients, scheduling patients, working with people there physically in front of them. And the phone is almost an interruption of their job. They don't see it as their job. So to fix that, what we've done is we have a new patient follow-up team. We have a group of people who used to work in orthodontic offices. A lot of them are former TCs, so they've been in an orthodontic office. They know how to speak to orthodontic patients, and they work from home. They work remotely, and they are basically your remote team member. And their only job is to call the leads that we get for you and get them scheduled in your appointment book. That is their one and only job, and they do that all day long. They'll even sometimes do it on evenings or holiday weekends. They're bonus based on how many of these they schedule by us, and so they are motivated to get them scheduled. So that way, when we spend $80 to $100 per lead, we can schedule the majority of them in your practice. And these team members, they will schedule in your software. So for most of the time, we can get remote access to your software. Excuse me. And they will actually schedule in your practice management software for you, obviously under your direction and following your system. Sometimes they'll get insurance information, a few other things. So it kind of depends on your system, but as much as possible, they will become your remote team member and they will get those leads that we get on Facebook, on Google, all these other sources, and get them in your office. It's our way of trying to close that loop to make sure that we maximize all of our marketing spend. So in addition, we also do a
Can I
90-day performance-based guarantee. So
can
do
I
you have
add
something
something
to
to
say there,
that?
Tyler?
Yeah. So a lot of this is about seasonal offers, like what Dr. Tyler was sharing about, right? Let's just say spring break, fall break, things like that, even summer. To go along with the follow-up, if you could just go back one slide, please. And I apologize about my voice. But what happens is people pay for marketing, but a lot of times they go out of office, so their team members are out of office during, say, spring break or fall break, right? For sometimes a whole week. And what happens is you're paying for marketing, new leads are stacked up, and then you don't get back to them for over a week's time. Our team members work through spring break, fall break, summer, small holidays. We actually just had a brand new office on Martin Luther King Day. When the office was closed, we booked them 17 new patients in just one day. 17 new leads were booked, added to their schedule directly in just one day. So, like what Dr. Tyler was saying, is we fill those gaps. Maybe your team is out, maybe you're on vacation, maybe everyone's off for the holiday. we're there following up with all these new leads. So, anyways, just because it tied to the seasonal perspective, I wanted to share that. So, thanks.
Yep, it's a good point. So, and then like I was saying, we do a 90-day performance-based guarantee where within 90 days, we are going to get you a positive return on your investment. And if we don't do that right away, we'll keep working for free until we do. So we don't charge you a management fee until we've gotten you a positive return on your investment. So every market's going to be a little bit different. Everyone's a little different size. So sometimes it takes us a little time to kind of lock it in and figure it out. But we're confident that using these strategies, using the experiences that we've had, that we're going to get a positive return on your investment. And if we can't within 90 days, we'll go ahead and continue working until we do. So that is our guarantee that I don't think any other marketing agency has that I'm aware of. So if you'd like to learn more about our systems, so we offer websites, Google ads, Facebook ads, a lot of these other things. I would invite you to schedule a time to talk with Tyler. If you go to our website, startorthoboost.com, click the big red button, schedule a strategy session. You can schedule a time with him, even if you just want to pick his brain about upcoming seasonal offers. What he's seeing is working now for orthodontic offices as far as offers or specials. Feel free to schedule a time. He's happy to kind of go through that. And then if you are looking for someone to help you either with your website, Facebook, or Google ads, that is something that we would love to speak more with you about. So again, go to startorthoboost.com, schedule a time, and Tyler can arrange to chat with you and get some more information. So, but yeah, now do we have any questions, Tyler? Anything that came through on the
Yeah, so
chat?
I have 4 questions right now, and if you feel free to add some now. But this one comes from Dr. Caldwell. It's a tech question. It says, "What timer do you use on your website?" So I don't know if you could address that quickly or not, but he's wondering what timer
Yeah.
you use.
So we use generally Element or Page Builder, which is our website software, and it has a built-in timer on it. So most websites will have this functionality available. You do have the option of choosing between a set date timer or an evergreen timer. So sometimes if it's more of like an evergreen offer, it's not necessarily a seasonal offer. We'll do like what's called an evergreen timer where whenever they land on the page, it starts at a countdown of 7 days from that time. And then it places a pixel on their device where if they revisit that page using that same device, they'll see the countdown timer that's specific for them. But when we are doing true seasonal specials like a Black Friday special offer that ends, December 2nd, the end timer will actually end on December 2nd. And that's when that offer goes away. So, yeah, most page builders, most websites have this functionality built in, and it's usually pretty straightforward.
Cool. Next question. This is from Dr. Patel. What about existing patients, and what if they see your current offer?
Yeah, so it's not too big of a deal. Most of the time, again, people are accustomed to seeing special offers, whether it's for cars, whether it's for whatever. If somebody just started treatment yesterday and then we started a, free switch offer today and they called up, we'll usually go ahead and just give them the free switch. Like it's fine. Like, you know, that's again, it doesn't happen as much as you think. If someone's been in treatment like a year and a half, then usually we'll say like, well, if you have your next family member that wants to get started, they can totally take advantage of this deal. So that's kind of depends on how you want to manage it, but most of the time people understand like there's going to be offers coming and going, and you pay attention and you can take advantage of the offers when they come. Again, if somebody started yesterday and they see the offer today, we'll go ahead and just honor that because it's easy thing to do, and yeah, it's not a big deal. So that is our suggestion, and most of the time, it's not really been an issue.
Cool. Next question. It comes from Dr. Stein. I've never done offers or giveaways. How can I make this work for my practice?
Yep. So biggest thing is you just got to do it. So the easiest way that I've found that works best is just doing a low monthly payment. So take whatever your lowest monthly payment is. And if you do third party financing, so for us, we do third party financing. So patients can, if they qualify through the third party financing options, get as low as $79 per month. And so we'll advertise that. That's a super easy way to do it because somebody comes in, if they don't qualify, then we say, well, normally it's $79 per month. But unfortunately, this time it's going to be $110 per month because that's what you qualify for. And yeah, the biggest thing is people are used to seeing this in the world. And if you want to increase new patients and you want to increase, you know, new starts, this is a quick, easy way to do it. And yeah, I would definitely recommend it. If you have a capacity issue where you have too many new patients, obviously this is not something you even need to worry about. But if you need to increase new patient numbers, I would definitely explore this option. You'll be surprised how well it works and how many new patients you can get from it.
Cool. Good response. The last question I got here is from Dr. Rhodes. Is print dead? He mentioned you didn't mention anything about print, but he's wondering, is print dead?
So we've done every form of advertising. I used to do postcards a lot. We did postcard ads, we did Valpak, we did magazine ads, we did flyers when dropped off at the houses. They all can work, but when we're talking about the most profitable campaigns, usually what you would end up paying, like if you got a 3-to-1 ROI on a postcard campaign, meaning for every dollar you spent, you got 3 back, that was a success for print. And digital, it's usually like a 5-to-1 or 7-to-1 or sometimes even 10-to-1 ROI on a good performing digital campaign. So, for example, an email blast to a rented list, usually our return on investment is like a 10 to 12-to-1, sometimes even higher. So it's tough to justify spending that money, the marketing budget on a print ad when I know that there's this digital ad that is so much better return on investment. So we used to do a ton of the print ads. Now all my budget goes straight into digital because I know that the return is so much better and it's a trackable return. So there may be some markets print still works, but by and large, I've yet to see where print can outperform digital.
Cool. There's some more like technical questions that are pretty hard to explain here on the webinar. I'm gonna go ahead and invite you. I'll go ahead and email you guys personally to be able to answer those questions on a call. So go ahead. Yeah, I'll go ahead and reach out to you. There's some longer questions that popped up, but I'll go ahead and take care of those questions post call individually. But we really appreciate you all being here. Those are excellent questions. Thanks you all for participating. I enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Dr. Tyler. Those are some really gold nuggets that you shared. Really great tips and advice that you shared for marketing. So appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And yeah, hopefully you take this advice and start implementing in your practice and get those quick, easy wins and quick return on your investment.
Yeah, one last thing. I'm gonna go ahead and add in that call link from our website. And so if anyone has additional questions or just wants to talk about marketing or seasonal marketing campaigns, I'm gonna go and add it in this link here so you guys can go ahead and schedule there. But we appreciate it. You guys take care. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you.